Hey, I'm Kai, and today I'm excited to be checking out the Mosky Super Delay. Now, this pedal was sent to me by Affordable here in the UK, so this is a sponsored video, though as it's not Mosky themselves sending me this pedal, this video shouldn't be biased in any way. There's a link to Affordable's website in the description box down below. They're a UK reseller of brands like K-Line, Mosky, and Demon Effects, and they're constantly undercutting both AliExpress and Amazon on price. To give a very quick overview of the Mosky Super Delay, we've got the three controls you'd expect to see on a delay, the time, the blend, and the feedback, as well as some modulation controls considering that it's a tape-based delay. We have a four-way rotary knob that allows you to select the intensity of the modulation, and we also have a rate knob. The blend control on this unit goes from 0% to 50%, so all the way up the delay signal will be at the same volume as your dry guitar signal. I know a lot of people prefer this to be a 0 to 100% sweep, but personally I like the 0 to 50% as it gives you finer granular controls. As for the time on the delay, you can go down to 30 milliseconds and up to 650. Now for the setup in this video, I'm running my Balaguer Synthwave Espada into the front end of my Hot Tone Ampero 2 Stomp, and then I'm running the Mosky Super Delay in the effects loop. This means that I can put the Mosky delay in two different positions in my chain, once before the amp and once after the amp, so that we can switch between them and hear what works best. I'll start with the delay after the amp in the traditional sort of setup. This is going to simulate how it would sound in the effects loop, for instance. This means that the delay trails stay super clean, super consistent, and you can really hear what the delay is doing. Starting on a Fendery style clean tone, this is what we're working with. With the modulation on the Mosky Super Delay turned to the off position and the rate all the way down, we're just going to hear what the delay itself is doing, completely dry. I'll also start with the blend control up all the way so that this is a 50% blend of my dry tone and the delay tone. So the repeats all the way down is going to be just one single repeat, and all the way up turns into self-oscillation. Now I'm going to mess with the time knob and go from all the way left to all the way right. I'm also going to play about with the oscillation feature a little bit just to show you how exciting this can get. This is very analog style, but I'm fairly sure this is a digital pedal. Okay, I'll now just dial in a nice sort of clean delay tone before we get into the modulation settings. So the modulation has 4 different modes, all ranging up in intensity. The first one is no modulation at all, so now we'll notch up into number 2, which is going to be the first bit where you start to hear modulation. I really like how it sounds with the rate nice and low on this. I like a nice subtle modulation just sitting behind the tone. On a tape style delay, this is sort of the wow and flutter effects that you get. As we turn this one up, it starts to get really weird, so let's try the next intensity level. This is the number 3 mode. Okay, well now we'll step it up into the 4th mode. This is the most intense that the modulation will get. So let's see if I can find a nice sweet spot for another delay tone using the modulation feature. I think I liked it on the second most intense setting. Yeah, really nice sounding modulation. I'm really enjoying this delay so far. So as I mentioned previously, I've got a switch on the Ampero 2 stomp that lets me change the position of the effects loop from after the amp, as you've been hearing it so far, to before the amp. Before the amp, the delay will sound a lot softer. After the amp is very clean cut as you're processing the whole tone with the delay, whereas before the amp, all of the decay and all of the repeats will go through the amp and the cabinet. Okay, let's leave it in front of the amp and dial it in again. I really do like how the delay sounds in front of the amp. It goes against the sort of traditional pedal order of running your delays and modulations and stuff like that in the effects loop, but I really like how soft it sounds. It's especially important when we start running a high gain tone, which I'll get into in just a second. I'll switch amps over from the Fender Clean to a JCM 800 grit sort of sound, and I'll switch pickups from the split middle pickup over to the bridge pickup. I'll start with the pedal after the amp in the traditional sort of way, and we'll see if we can dial in a tone that works for this. Maybe a sort of lead tone kind of thing. Again, I'm just really enjoying this pedal. For £35, I'd say this is a really smart purchase. Now this is where the pedal starts to get really interesting, is when we run it into the front end of the dirty amp. So again, I'll do the thing where I switch between both of them and you can hear the differences. So you'll hear it really starts to become prevalent how the decay of the delay is being distorted by the amplifier. So let's dial in something that works better for this. Tell you what, if this video wasn't a demo specifically for the Mosky Super Delay, I probably would have titled it something like "Why You Need to Throw Traditional Pedal Order Out the Window." If you look at those classic pedal order diagrams and stick to that your whole life, you'll miss out on the sounds of a delay into the front of a gainy amplifier, which is something that I think is so fantastic that everyone needs to try it. So if you enjoyed the sounds of this pedal, please be sure to drop a like, a subscribe, drop a comment letting me know what you think. All that sort of stuff goes a long way towards helping me out. I'd say that this pedal is an absolute no-brainer at £35. I'm really enjoying how this sounds and hopefully I'll be able to use it some more in the future. Once again, thank you to Affordaboard UK who have sent me out this pedal for review purposes. There's a link in the description box down below to check out their website. That's all I've got for this video, so if you'd like to check out another one of my videos, there's going to be a link on screen for the video that YouTube thinks you're going to most enjoy. Thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. Until next time, I've been Kai.